Joanna, I hope the fact that we're suddenly standing here does not create any extra pressure or formality on the conversation that we want to have with you. Welcome.
Absolutely not. Łukasz, we know each other, so no
That
pressure
we do.
at all.
Yes.
Okay. So you can remain seated, Asha, if you're sitting. And good to reconnect. Nice to see you again with a bit of a different background. And happy to have the proper conversation that more than one person can benefit from. So let's just dive into the neurodiversity inclusion subject. Your company has been very successful with introducing neurodiversity in the work environment. And I think it's particularly interesting to companies who are starting their journey. Neurodiversity is such a new term, maybe even new trend for the companies. So I look at this conversation as almost like a kickoff for other companies. But let's start with basic. And let's talk about like specific actions maybe that Accenture took towards building more neuro-inclusive environment. Asha, what could you share with us?
Yeah, so first I want to introduce the background why we are introducing those activities. So let's say that about 20% of the population is neurodivergent somehow. So it would mean that statistically speaking, in Accenture worldwide, about 150,000 employees are neurodivergent somehow. So these numbers are saying why we are doing that. And now we are taking a lot of activities, starting from building awareness, celebrating our diversity, and also giving the support to our employees. Mm-hmm. So one of the way we are supporting our neurodivergent employees is the creation of dedicated platform on which our employees can request reasonable accommodation. Mm-hmm. Reasonable accommodation is the adjustment or modification done in the workplace which make it more accessible or simply user-friendly. Mm-hmm. We created also the guide dedicated to neurodivergent employees, giving examples what can help them and they can request. So those can be, for example, equipment, like headphones to reduce background noise. There can be reading pens or fidget pens. This is the combination of business pen and sensory device.
Very interesting.
There can be also, this is really nice, but these are just, examples. Another thing that they can request is the technology support. So having various additional applications, for example, to spelling and grammar checking or supporting time management. Mm-hmm. And also the guide includes the full list of tips how to use neurodivergent features which are already embedded in Microsoft Office or Teams. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the,
That's a long list, Asha, and I'm very impressed. We're very impressed to hearing about the examples that you're giving, and I'm also happy that you're bringing numbers, behind the subject. Yesterday we spent some time talking about the importance of data evidence, of data-driven D&I. So once you actually look into the numbers and see the scale, and can truly determine your audience by numbers, it can be a big eye-opener. So thank you also for sharing some statistics. Speaking of education and awareness, would you be willing to take us through some key programs that you have introduced that help employees to navigate in a bit of a new environment?
And also leadership understand the importance of neurodiversity. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, this is crucial. And I think that both Jessica Rodriguez and today Edyta Gałaszewska, who are also your guest, are the best examples of the top leadership, supporting inclusion and diversity. In terms of learning, so first we have our global e-platform where you can find various materials, videos, and trainings which are focused on various aspects of neurodiversity. And this is available for all employees. There are also materials prepared in more detailed way, which are supposed to be read by and used by people from HR, recruitment, or people managing others. And in those materials, you can find information like about ADHD, you can find information about dyslexia, etc., etc. So what are the symptoms? What are the strengths of such employee? What can be the challenges? And also tips, how to communicate better, how to support such person, and how to streamline the work. So this is on the global level. But also in Poland locally, we are, offering our employees the webinars about autism prepared by external professionals, but also we are preparing it ourselves. And thanks to existence of our neurodiverse community, those people are simply talking about themselves, teaching others about neurodiversity.
And again, we've been talking about the power of storytelling and bringing out or bringing to light authentic examples of
Real life
life stories. I remember when we talked before the conference, you mentioned a story of your dear colleague from work who nearly started this, neurodiversity or neuro-inclusion wave in your organization. So it does start and end at a very specific person. Asia.
Exactly.
Asia,
Yes.
I'm tempted to ask so many questions, and I'm also conscious of time. I will come back to the questions, but I'm also looking at the one that just landed from our audience, if you don't mind. There's a valid question around investment, financial investment into the programs or adjustments that you take naturally, since you're covering the needs of many people, including neurodivergent audience. The question is, at Accenture, do you have a central budget pot for adjustments, or do individual departments need to cover adjustments costs for colleagues in their team? So how centralized the budget is?
We are happy to be a huge organization. So yes, we have dedicated budget for, supporting our people to have the reasonable accommodation. So this is absolutely free of charge for employees, and projects or managers, they do not need to, find the money to sponsor some adjustments.
Lucky organization indeed. Thank you for covering that, Asia. Can we spend some time on discussing the effective ways of measuring the impact and the success of neurodiversity inclusion initiatives in the organization? So how would you measure, what are the key performance or key success indicators in your case?
Yeah, so Accenture is really data-driven company, also in the field of inclusion and diversity, including neurodiversity. So our first measure is to check the number of neurodiversity allies who are wanting to join the allyship program. So these are the hard numbers.
So the number of supporters in a different number of ambassador supporters.
Exactly. And this is still increasing. Another numbers that we are monitoring is the number of people willing to join and being active in neurodiverse communities, both on global level, but also I am checking how many people are interested in our local Polish community of neurodivergent people. We are observing also not only neurodivergent employees joining the meetings or the chat, but also parents of neurodivergent children who simply want to ask questions to better understand the world of their children. And I think that the most significant proof that the neurodiversity topic is present in Accenture in Poland is the existence of our, local neurodiverse community, which, as you mentioned, was absolutely created by our employees, and we are just supporting this, giving the space in internal communication or giving the space on Teams.
Beautiful. I'm just doing a quick check if you have any question to Asia.
I don't have questions. I see the questions coming to us in the chat window. So, Joanna, if you would be so kind to log in on the platform and maybe share your perspective as to especially measuring success in more broadly in the context of what you do, and maybe send our guests to a specific website or subpage where you describe those processes and initiatives you are undertaking. We very much encourage our speakers to share specific documents, reports, maybe recommendations. So I would like to leave you with that, and thank you for being with us today.
So you joined and you got an extra task from Łukasz.
One way to put it.
I know that Łukasz would probably prepare something extra for me.
Okay. You've built it already. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Asia. Great to reconnect, and good luck with all your
pleasure having you
initiatives and neurodiversity journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you very much.
And we are back with you.